about it is I always say I work for the fans. So I always take questions from you guys, ideas from you all, and I put that into my interviews with these players every week. And something very fun at the end of the interview is I do an activity like Office Olympics, just something really fun. And I don't always win, but that's not the point. Just so you guys can get the chance to see these players as people, not just as guys with helmets on running around on Sundays. It's really cool. So if I have your interest, please click subscribe to my YouTube channel and let me know what you think. All right. Good morning, Chris Jenkins, credential member of the media covering the Carolina Panthers for Charlotte Vibe. Happy Sunday, December 13th to you, aka happy birthday to me. Yes, I'm working on my birthday for you guys, but I love working, love covering the Carolina Panthers, so it's an honor, pleasure to be here today. And hey, a few things that I want to get out the way: like, subscribe, follow on YouTube if you're watching on Twitter or Facebook. Good to watch there and listen to the content. But if you got questions for me, which I love to answer, then just hop on over to YouTube. You'll be able to ask me questions. That's why I do this live show. 100% so I can interact with people that are Carolina Panther fans. And you know, today's question, same question each week. Tell me who you think is going to win today's matchup and why. Leave those in the comments below. And you see that I got on my Carolina Vows sweatshirt today because, well, if you basically, in summary, this says whether the team's doing good or bad, you know, I'm down for Carolina. Nice shirt. This is the hoodie today. So want to show me some birthday love, want to support the channel, there's a link below for you to go ahead and get the sweatshirt. So let me go ahead and get everybody prepared for this matchup today. Carolina Panthers are taking on the Denver Broncos in a beautiful, beautiful day here in Charlotte, North Carolina. Kickoff is at 1 p.m. Eastern time, so just about an hour and a half. It's going to get you all together for the game. Chris Johnson, always signing on. What's up to you? Appreciate you signing in. Let's go ahead and get into this matchup today and some good things to get you prepared in watching this game. Before I take a drink of this, it's just apple juice. All right, we always start off with the latest transactions that the Carolina Panthers have made, adjusting their 53-man roster, getting their game day roster ready. So we're going to go ahead and bring that up for you right now. A few transactions. They have elevated wide receiver Markin Michael to the active roster. And he is a COVID-19 replacement for just this week. Also activated linebacker Adarius Taylor from the reserve injured list. Signed defensive tackle Woodrow Hamilton. He was signed from the practice squad to the active roster. And we also, all these transactions happened yesterday. We also waived linebacker Chris Orr. So those are your transactions to get you up to date with the Panthers roster as of today. At the end of the show, I'm going to go over the inactives for you that will give you the most up-to-date information about who's playing and who's not playing today. So, you know, we had a lot of COVID action last week. We had 8 players after the bye week that was COVID-related, had to be sitting out most of the week. 6 of those came off. 2 players did not come off that list. Those 2 players were wide receiver DJ Moore and defensive tackle Zach Kerr. Now, there were lots of reports circling last week about how all this happened. Are these guys just being careless? Some of it was maybe even linked to the week before when they played in Minnesota, which Coach Gruel acknowledged that he's heard and he doesn't know the full story. But the latest rumor report, if you will, is that the Carolina Panthers will be finding some of those players, if not all those players, that were had something to do with that COVID outbreak that we had last week, and continues a little bit into this week as those players start to recover from it. So I'll continue to keep you all updated on the latest in regards to that matter. Charles Bennett, that's what they all say. I'm not sure what you're talking about there, Charles. Give me a little bit more information about your comment there. Love to be able to respond to it properly. All right, so today's matchup, Panthers are currently 4-8 coming off of a bye week. The Denver Broncos, they have the exact same record, 4-8. And they are They are coming off a loss to the Super Bowl champ Kansas City Chiefs, 22-16. Now, anybody want to guess when the last? Oh, apple juice. It is apple. I don't know what this. I guess this could be wine, right? But there's no sparkles to it, so yeah. I don't drink anything anyway. I think I've had two, three, four drinks in my life, and each time they were just like trying to drink, and it just never worked out for me. But nevertheless, the last meeting between these two teams, I actually got to watch. It was pre-COVID days. It was when they last played in Denver, that season opener after they made it to the Super Bowl. So these teams have not played each other too often. Today is actually just their seventh meeting between the two teams. But that last meeting, I forget what the exact score. I think it was a close game, 22-16 kind of deal. It was close. Key Pounder says we could have a top 5 pick. Happy to see Tahir on the bench. Yeah, Tahir Whitehead is a popular guy to talk about these days in a not so happy with player kind of way. All right, so the best part of the show is a lot of little interesting facts to get you ready to watch this game today. So I'm going to go ahead and roll into these facts. Hey, again, continue to leave your comments. I'll wait until I get to the end and go over everybody's comments, so don't make it too long of a day for you all. And if you're watching on Facebook or Twitter, which I appreciate, but if you want to interact with me, which I love to do, man of the people, go on over to YouTube, leave your comments, and I'll be able to respond to you there. All right, so let's go ahead and start with some of these facts. Hopefully, I got these right. I was up kind of late yesterday trying to have some family time. Let's see here if I can get this correct. And boom. So a few interesting facts about today's matchup. You'll see some of these graphics on the screen. Jeremy Chin, I don't know why it just says Jeremy Chin. That should be safety. Jeremy Chin leads all rookies in 2020 with 86 tackles this season. Now, to add to that, he has also won Rookie of the Month and back-to-back months, and he's also one of 2 defensive players to have multi-TD games this season. Defensive end Brian Burns ranks second in tackles among defensive ends with 46. He also is tied for 5th in forced fumbles with 3, and he is tied in 7th with quarterback pressures. And if you remember, a few weeks ago, might have been 3 weeks at this point, put that he is the fastest in the league getting the quarterbacks by a second. So as he continues to work and refine on some things, he's just going to continue to grow as a standout kind of guy. What do we got here next? Curtis Samuels. So this is important because DJ Moore will not be playing today. I don't think, in my opinion, that's going to be a big deal for us because we've actually had a top 3 trio in receivers this year. So DJ Moore, yeah, it certainly affects you, just like having Christian McCaffrey out, but I don't think we suddenly go to being dead in the water. Curtis Samuel, he leads all NFL wide receivers with some sure hand. He got the sticky fingers for us. He leads all receivers in the NFL with an 85.7 percentage, and he's also ranked second in the NFL with receptions on third downs, and his 282 receiving yards on third downs. It's the 5th most in the NFL. You guys are sending me some happy birthday love. I appreciate it. I do want it. That's why I put it out there, just to let you know. All right, continuing on with some more. This Panthers defense, here's a good gem for you guys. This Panthers defense leads the league with 12 fumble recoveries in 2020. That's pretty good. Pretty good. I was able to find some interesting facts for the day. Hey, this is how I guess uncool I'm becoming. Did you guys know that D'Angelo Williams was in the Amazing Race on CBS or whatever station? I had no idea. Watched a little bit of it, and yeah, D'Angelo Williams kind of to me seems like one of those guys. Great football player, but I don't know if I'd be friends with him. He's a little different, but interestingly enough, though, I did find a stat. So we have only played the Denver Broncos. This is the 7th time we played them. We played them kind of 2 times, almost literally back-to-back in the Super Bowl in 2015, then start the season in 2016. This Denver Broncos team keeps us in check when it comes to running the ball. They've done that. Again, it's only 6 times, so it's not a large sample. But the most yards we've ever had running was with D'Angelo Williams, and it was 88 yards by D'Angelo Williams. So I thought that was a pretty interesting fact for the game today. And also, time of possession. According to Radar 360, the Panthers lead the league in time of possession per drive with 3 minutes and 9 seconds each drive. So that's pretty cool. And I thought I had another stat that looks like I'm probably not going to find quickly, but I believe this is pretty close, so I feel confident to say it, that along with that, leading the league in the average length per drive, average time per drive, our average drive is 37 yards gain per drive in 2020. So that's worth third best in the league. And one more for you. Carolina's defensive leads the league with 211 tackles by rookies. Did you know that? That's not too surprising though, because we drafted, was first modern era team to draft all defensive people in the first round. So the fact that we have the most tackles by rookies isn't surprising, considering our team is so young and has so many rookies. See a few questions coming through. I appreciate it. Continue to leave those questions. And once I'm through everything, which I'm just about through, I'll be able to ask those questions. So again, also like the video. Easy way for other Panther fans to find out. B. Evans with the $5 super chat, slice of quarantine cake. So I appreciate that. Hey, for those of you that live in the Charlotte area, if you've ever gone to see the lights in McGattonville, I have a question for you, because I went last night. I was disappointed. I had gone one time before, and I just thought that it was something really cool and really nice. Last night, I was in line for like 2 hours, get to see the lights, and it was like one block of good lights in the neighborhood. I thought it used to be bigger than that. Let me know. But anyway, continuing to move on. Let's see what else we got here. Notable connections, which was really big. So Christian McCaffrey is, out today. Each week I like to talk about notable connections, relationships between players on one team that also has some history on the other team. We've got quite a few. Christian McCaffrey was obviously the biggest one, with his father playing for the Denver Broncos, him growing up in Denver. But there's more than just Christian McCaffrey. So we also have defensive tackle Zach Kerr. He played for Denver in 2017 and 2018. Zach is out today with that COVID restriction. Russell Okung played 1 season in Denver back in 2016. Matt Paradis was drafted by the Broncos, and he played 5 seasons for them, starting all 60 games. Michael Schofield, guard, was drafted by the Broncos. And so that's all the relationships that Carolina now has that have some previous Bronco history. And then on the other side, there's a few that, you might not be too about on Denver's side. Most famously, Mike Shula is the, quarterbacks coach for Denver right now. He was, in case you remember, the offensive coordinator for Carolina for quite some time, for about, 5 years, I think it was. And then head coach Vic Fangio was Carolina's, this is only one that your old school Panther fans will know. Head coach for the Denver Broncos, was indeed on the Carolina Panthers coaching staff back in 1995 through 98. He was a defensive coordinator. So those are your notable connections for today. Again, it's the birthday. Show me some love. Leave some comments. Do a super chat. And if you like this shirt, Carolina Val shirt, I like it. As you can see, I take this team from this day forward for wins, for losses, for good coaching, for bad coaching, for superstars, for bench stars, for championships, for last place, blah, 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 as long as we both shall live. So good shirt. I like it. I'm wearing it today. You can use the link below to purchase it and support the channel and what we do. Let's go ahead and also wrap up with the inactives for today, as well as go over the questions that are out there. So let me get this inactive list and bring it up on the screen for you. By the way, the best way to stay in touch with me during the game is right there. using that information that you see below. Give me a second, and I'm going to pull up the list for the inactives for you guys. Where did it go? Where did it go? I gotta find it. Give me 1 second. I apologize. I thought I had it right up. And sometimes the information is right in front of me. Other times I have to find it. All right, I got it for you guys. Appreciate the patience as I do the one-man studio production. But I gotta get these graphics on the screen for you super quick like. All right. Without further ado, here are your inactives for today. All right. Thanks again for your patience there. I now have the screen in front of you for today's matchup. As expected, well, let me just go through it in order here. We have quarterback Will Grier, who, in my 2 cents of an opinion, I knew Will Grier. I think Will Grier has been done from that backup position on game days because P.J. Walker did a great job in his only start when that beat down to Detroit, and he just, he's just earned to be that designated guy for the rest of the season. Now, certainly next year it could be a competition for that backup job, but I think right now it's safe to say that it should be P.J. Walker's job for the rest of the year. Christian McCaffrey is out, and so obviously Mike Davis will start there. Offensive lineman Dennis Daly is inactive. Offensive tackle Greg Little is inactive. We have defensive end Marquise Haynes, and Marquise Haynes, he was suffering with the illness all week long. They try to give these guys some privacy about things that aren't COVID related. So it's not a big surprise that defensive end Marquise Haynes is out today. Also have Mike, I can't say Mike's last name, but you see it there on the screen. No, you don't see it on the screen. Sorry about that. Marquise Haynes, defensive end, he's out. Defensive tackle Mike, I can't say that name. He's out today. And safety Kenny Robinson is out. So though Tahir Whitehead is not listed on there, I know someone said that he's not playing today. I'm not sure where that came from. Trey Boston was listed on the injury report on Friday. He is not inactive today. He had a sore hamstring. So all good signs there that Trey Boston will be playing today. And let me see if I can give you any other last minute updates about today's game and the players. Reading a bunch of notes here that just came through from the Panthers wire for the media. Yeah, so there's nothing else big there to report, but that's your latest matchup or lineup for today. Now let me go back over to YouTube. I see there's a few more comments that came through. Let's see here. Ernest Capu, Panthers need to make the playoffs. Ernest, won't happen for you this year. 4-8 ain't happen. But hey, you can always still show your support. What else we got here? B. Evans, showing a bunch of love. Appreciate you. Keep pounding with the happy birthday. Appreciate it. Charles Bennett with the happy birthday. Appreciate it. How many fumbles we forced, though? I didn't tell you guys how many fumbles we forced. I thought I did. Let me go back to my information here really quickly. Sorry if I didn't say that. Uh, 12 fumble recoveries so far this year in 2020. Hopefully that answers your question. Keep down. What are we doing with the time of possession, though? All right, so earlier I mentioned that the Panthers, let's see, we lead the league in time of possession with 3 minutes and 9 seconds each drive. Question was asked, so what are we doing with that time of possession? Well, obviously early in the season, we had a bigger problem once we got into the red zone. and that has been solved of late. So that was, at this point, these stats are over 12 games. So we have improved with what we're doing with that time of possession. Hopefully that it continues, as long as we're getting into the red zone. But yeah, stats don't tell the whole story of the game. Just some few stats to let you know there are some things that this team is doing good and gives you certainly some reason to be optimistic about the future. Kevin McFarland, do you think Trenton Cannon is a good running back? So Trenton, one thing is with this COVID, we haven't been able to see the players as much behind the scenes as we used to. I'm really only able to see the same things that you all do on game day footage. Certainly I can go back and watch some film and isolate a little bit more. I mean, Trenton Cannon certainly seems like a capable running back. I just haven't seen him a lot. I mean, any guy can shine in a moment. So I don't take, a splash here, a splash there with too much. Give me a full quarter of running the ball and some different scenarios and let me see how you do then. Then I can give a better evaluation. But I certainly think that Trenton Cannon is a running back that has some potential. Appreciate the happy birthday, Kevin McFarland. Charles Bennett, how's DJ's ankle? So we won't get any updates on DJ probably until Wednesday, to be honest with you. We'll talk with Coach again tomorrow. He usually only has information about players from the game, and it's kind of limited there. Tuesday, they don't practice. So I would say Wednesday morning, first time we'll get some updates on DJ's ankle. Yes, Trey Boston's playing. What is Greg Little's injury? Greg Little's injury. Give me just 1 second. I'll tell you what Greg Little's injury is. I forget at the moment. So Greg Little. That's a good question. That may be why you asked. Greg Little does not have an injury. He is just inactive today. Let me just make double sure there. Good question. Yeah, no injury for Greg Little. Very good question. I'm going to check one more thing here. Yeah, there's no injury to Greg Little. He actually set out the game last week, sitting out the game this week. So, for what I would assume that there's just a little bit of a performance issue there with Greg. Sometimes they also look to say, like, what other positions could we need help with today because of injuries in other spots? And they'll go to take out a guy and say, hey, maybe we got enough flexibility in these other players on the offensive line that we could float them around. So with Greg not performing as well as coaches would like, they're sitting him out. But Greg Little does not have an injury today. That is not why he is inactive. Appreciate the question there. Again, man of the people, I work for you guys, so please ask any questions that I can answer. Help you get ready for today's game. Appreciate the key pounding. Kevin McFarland. Taylor is playing in Tahir's spot. This is the revenge for the Super Bowl. I think at this point, you don't even have the same coaching staff. You have so much player turnover. For some fans, if we win today, it might be a revenge game, but for the players, what is it, 2 or 3 guys that were on that Super Bowl team that's still on the roster. So I don't think the team would celebrate it whatsoever as a Super Bowl victory. So, hey, appreciate everybody as always, sincerely for tuning in and watching. Hit that bell notification because I'm going live after the game. So here's what I want you to do during the game. Follow me. Let me put it up on the screen for you here. Follow me on Twitter if you're not already doing so. Have some good conversation, put some good information out there for you. There's the information for you to follow me during the game for conversation, information, injury updates as players get off. Media gets immediate information about the status of those players that are injured. So that's something to consider. And let's see, about an hour and a half after the game, I'll come back online again. We'll have had a chance to talk with coaches and players. So when you have questions during the game, you see something going on, near the end of the game, fourth quarter, go ahead and tweet me your questions. And I will try to ask the players, definitely get the coach, but I will try to ask those questions and get those answers and put them online for you. As always, appreciate you watching. Chris Jenkins for Charlotte Vibe. See you after the game, and thanks for all the birthday wishes. Sincerely.